He was one of the first on the scene, and he helped rescue the only survivor. Tonight, a Lexington police officer looks back on the Flight 5191 crash 10 years later.
Folks in one Lexington neighborhood are shaken up after they woke up to find suspected gang graffiti on a home here.
Some federal help is on the way for people in 20 Kentucky counties affected by severe weather last month.
This is WKYT News at 11.
Good evening on this Friday. If you're going to be outside this weekend, be prepared for heat and humidity. It's going to feel uncomfortable at times. We begin tonight with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey and your no-wait weather forecast. Chris?
Yeah, Sam, certainly feeling the part out there today with temperatures into the 90s, heat index way up there. And you know what? It only gets hotter as we go into our Saturday and Sunday. Late Friday evening, rolling our way into the weekend with temperatures into the stuffy 70s. Into much of central and eastern Kentucky. The heat index makes it feel a little warmer than it actually is. Still feeling close to 80 out there. Nothing showing up on the radar locally, though. We had a shower thunderstorm a little earlier in the parts of northern Kentucky. Now we're watching western Kentucky from Nashville into the Paducah area. Big time thunderstorms on the move for those folks. Can we get any of that in here to try and curtail some of the heat for the day tomorrow? Well, the hour-by-hour radar through 9, 10, 11 o'clock tomorrow morning showing most of that stuff staying well to our west. But it is the hazy, hot, and humid pattern that is really gripping the bluegrass state over the next few days. Temperatures continue to surge, and I will show you why at 11:11, Sam, that I think tomorrow is going to be the hottest air of the entire summer across central and eastern Kentucky.
Chris, thank you. 49 lives lost, but not forgotten. Tomorrow, these people who died on Comair Flight 5191 will be remembered on the 10th anniversary of that crash. A memorial service will be held for them at the UK Arboretum, and tonight final preparations were made for that service. It will be held near the memorial sculpture that was dedicated to all these victims. Only the co-pilot survived that crash 10 years ago. And tonight, one of the Lexington police officers who rescued him looked back on the day of the crash. Monique Blair has our top story at 11.
Every day there's always something, a reminder, a smell, or a familiar face that I relate to that crash.
It has been 10 years, and although it's ingrained in his memory forever, August 27th, 2006 is still hard for Lexington Police Sergeant Brian Jarrett to talk about.
It takes your breath away to see something like that. I didn't know what to do for, a couple seconds.
Sergeant Jarrett, then a patrol officer, was one of the first officers on scene, and right away he started searching for someone, anyone he could help. That's when he saw Jim Polhinky, the co-pilot.
When I found Polhinky, he was like my saving grace. He was like, I gotta make this work.
At that time, two airport police officers, John Sully and Pete Maupin, were on scene assisting. Once Polhinky was freed from his harness, Jarrett and Maupin immediately took him to the hospital.
When Pete was driving to the hospital, I didn't know if he was alive or not at that point.
Jim Polhinky survived the crash. 47 passengers and 2 crew members did not.
For the past 10 years, Officer Jarrett says he has been able to connect with many of the victims' families through social media. He says although tomorrow will be difficult, he's also looking forward to it because he'll be able to meet many of the victims' families for the very first time.
The most important thing to me for them tomorrow is to have the opportunity to finally be surrounded by 49 other families that are dealing with the same thing, the same struggles.
So tomorrow, the 49 victims of Comair Flight 5191 will be remembered and they will be honored, just as they will be forever.
I don't think anybody can ever get closure to something like that, but I think they just get stronger as the days and the weeks go by.
In Lexington, Monique Blair, WKYT.
And as we mentioned, a memorial service will be held tomorrow morning at the UK Arboretum. Barbara Bailey will join me for live coverage of the service here on WKYT. It begins at 10 a.m. You'll be able to watch it as well, the service live online at WKYT.com. A disturbing sight outside a Lexington home. Vandals left messages using spray paint, and tonight Lexington police say they're investigating it as possible gang graffiti. New at 11, Garrett Weimer talks to someone who lives in the home.
Black specks of paint dot the ground like breadcrumbs pointing the way home. But it's a lot more than just X that marks the spot here.
It's creepy because, we literally sleep right there. And just knowing that someone's out there, vandalizing right next to you, and they can be dangerous.
The couple who lives here asked not to be identified in case they were targeted for some reason. Lexington police are investigating whether the graffiti on that couple's house is from a gang. The artwork certainly was not a welcome sight.
Oh, I was kind of like taken aback when I saw the police, and then I looked over and saw the graffiti, and I just kind of I gasped, because it was really just kind of shocking.
But neighbors along McConnell's Trace say it's just the latest in a string of suspicious events that all of a sudden are quickly adding up.
It seems there's a succession here since July, from homes been broken into in the housing area, and then trash cans that have gone missing, cars been broken into, and then now this.
The couple whose home was tagged tell me now they plan on moving.
Can't be too careful. Yeah.
In the meantime, with the reason for their fear staring back in bold black letters, neighbors say they'll keep their eyes open and their porch lights on. In Lexington, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
A couple says the graffiti had to have been spray painted between 3 and 7:30 in the morning. Police say they found several cans of spray paint nearby. New tonight, a reward is being offered now for information leading to an arrest for the murders of 2 Catholic nuns in Mississippi. Police say that Sister Paula Merrill, seen here on the left, and Sister Margaret Held were found dead yesterday in the home they shared in Durant, north of Jackson. Police are not sure why the nuns were killed. Investigators say the reward now stands at more than $22,000. Merrill was a member of Sisters of Charity of Nazareth, which is based in Nelson County, Kentucky. She will be buried near the congregation headquarters. New tonight, the president has signed a disaster declaration for parts of Kentucky following storms back in early July. 20 counties, including Clay and Adair, are on that list. The declaration covers damage from storms, tornadoes, flooding, and mudslides between July 2nd and July 9th. Federal aid will now be available to help with recovery efforts in those 20 counties. New tonight, a federal judge has ruled that 2 students and an employee of University of North Carolina campuses must be allowed to use restrooms matching their gender identity. And the judge said they have a strong chance of proving North Carolina's bathroom access law violates federal law. Earlier this year, the state approved a law that requires transgender people to use restrooms in schools and most public buildings that correspond to the gender on their birth certificates. Some UK freshmen dancing their way into the weekend. And there was a good reason for this mini marathon. That's in 7 minutes.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey.
Thermometers today into the low 90s. Tomorrow we may add a degree or 2 on top of what we had a little earlier in the day, and that would put us into what should be the hottest day of the year across central and eastern Kentucky. Late evening thermometers into the 70s across the entire region. We are going to continue to deal with the steamy air. Temperatures now compared to the same point last night are nowhere near cool compared to then outside of Covington. Look at that. It's 3 degrees colder in Covington while everybody else is right about the same number. Why Covington? We had some rain a little earlier today. We roll our way into tomorrow. 90 to 95 degrees in most areas. Isolated shower, thunderstorm. Fingers crossed you get under one of those because you're going to need it. It's going to feel closer to 100 at times. Here's the heat index forecast as we go through tomorrow quickly by noontime already into the low and mid 90s. Look at that noon, 97 northeastern Kentucky. Through the heart of the afternoon tomorrow, it's upper 90s to right at 100 degrees for a heat index. So at times tomorrow, it's going to feel like it's 100, maybe 101. If you work outdoors, if you're out for an extended period of time, just slow down, drink a lot of water, don't overdo it. Sunday says, let's do it again. Noontime. This has a 97-degree heat index at noon on Sunday. Notice how the numbers come down a little bit by Sunday afternoon. Why is that? Well, that's because what is not showing up on Defender Radar Network right now may show up later this weekend. Scattered thunderstorms, dry across the Bluegrass State, well, most of the Bluegrass State. That's until we get into western Kentucky. Look at the heavy rain and thunderstorms from Nashville toward the Paducah area. Little plume of juice lifting its way on to the north. That flow continues to come out of the western Gulf of Mexico. No change as we go through the next few days. All right, now let's just look at thermometers. And let's throw the clouds and any scattered thunderstorm into the mix as well. Noon tomorrow, into the mid and upper 80s already. Low 90s tomorrow afternoon. I think most areas are 90 to 95 degrees if we keep the clouds away. You get under some cloud cover or a shower or thunderstorm, you'll catch a bargain. You'll only be around 91, 92. Catch full sunshine, you're around 95. Through tomorrow night and into Sunday morning, we're dealing with low 70s, tropical humidity. Better chance for some thunderstorms on Sunday. You can already see that now as clouds billow up by noon on Sunday, and watch what happens into the afternoon. Scattering of thunderstorms, and you get under one of those thunderstorms, it can drop your temperatures into the upper 70s, while your neighbor down the street says low 90s. Hang tough. Into Sunday night, sun goes down, thunderstorms begin to dry up. Into Monday, do it all over again. Upper 80s to low 90s into the afternoon with some scattered thunderstorms that will continue to be noted. Is it a broken record of a forecast? Yeah. Am I going to put it on autopilot? No, the boss won't let me, but you know what? It's pretty much a rubber stamp kind of forecast, Sam, right on into the middle of next week as we say goodbye to August and hello to September, though, buddy, I'm not for sure if we're going to be able to tell the difference.
I know, but at least it's Friday, right?
Amen to that.
Yes,
it is
sir.
Friday.
Amen. Thank you. Well, some University of Kentucky freshmen showing off their dance moves for a good cause tonight. Dance Blue U, a 3-hour mini dance marathon, giving freshmen a preview of the annual Dance Blue. That's a 24-hour dance marathon that will be held at UK later in the school year. The Dance Blue program raises money for pediatric cancer research.
We also are a 365-day event. You cannot cure cancer in one day. We do our 24-hour marathon to celebrate the work of the year, but we raise money all year.
In the last 12 years, Dance Blue has raised nearly $10 million. Very impressive. Brian and Lee Kay next with tonight's high school football highlights in Game Time.
Hello and welcome to another high school football Friday night. It's officially week 1, but we're 2 weeks into the season now.
Yeah, how do you figure that, right? Tonight we start with the 6A matchup over in Richmond. Last week the Dunbar got caught up in an early season buzzsaw in Lafayette. Tonight the Dogs head over to Madison Central, where the Indians struggled to put up points last week. Central has won 2 straight in this series. It's our game of the week.
Dunbar with the largest cheerleading squad in the solar system, trying to jumpstart a slow start by both squads. Second quarter, Dunbar quarterback Gavin Bugg goes up top, 87 yards to Trey Homer, who hauls it in deep into Madison Central territory. That set up the first touchdown of the game as the Dogs' Alex Baird goes up and over, 6-0 Dunbar. Madison Central answers on the play action. Quarterback Zach Harden finds Keenan Miller. Miller goes 44 yards, and at the half, Madison Central led it 7-6. Nobody scored in the third quarter. Then late in the game, Madison Central scores again when Harden goes in from 2 yards out. Harden throws for a touchdown, runs for a touchdown. Central up 14-6. 2:20 left in the game. Bugg goes to Homer again, this time 63 yards. That pulled the Bulldogs within 2, 14-12, but the extra point was no good. Madison Central wins it 14-12.
A couple years ago, my doctor told me I had to lose weight, and I did, so I'd get my blood pressure down, and I'm really glad I did because they're trying to give me a heart attack.
Coaches talk about you guys about you want to give him a high blood pressure, though.
Yeah, he lost a lot of weight, and we're going to make him. I mean, I don't want to make him nervous. I want to blow every team out, but I mean, to get a win in a close game, I like it.
So after giving up only 1 touchdown last week, Madison Central's defense does the job again in this one. The Indians now 2-0 on the season. Ryan Lemon, WKYT, Game Time.
Well, Mark Sitters, we want to keep you around a while. 2 powerhouses meeting tonight in Somerset. Scott County has won 37 of its last 41 games over the last 3 years, including its last 2 meetings with Pulaski County. The Maroons on a hunt to make a 4th straight 5A championship game. Pulaski County playing without starting quarterback Wiley Kane, who has a broken collarbone. So it's Matt Hendricks playing QB. And hey, it's the draw right up the middle. Nobody gets him. It's a touchdown. Pulaski up 19-7. And then it's Kendrick Hamilton. Touchdown. 19-14 Pulaski at the half. But Scott County owns the second half. And I promise you the final was 49-19 Scott County.
Over to the Bluegrass Bowl. It's Lexington Catholic hosting St. X. And Catholic had a thing going in the first half. Knights find the end zone on the first drive. Kirk Fago throws the strike to Sam Hodges for the touchdown. It was 7-0 Catholic. After forcing the St. X punt, the Knights marching again for go over the middle to Francisco Rios. That'll be another first down. Same possession, the same two hook up again.
Hey, more slants.
Yeah, this time for a touchdown. Lex Cath jumps out to a 28-0 lead. How about that?
Wow.
Lexington Catholic, this game still in the fourth quarter, got a late start. 28-13 Catholic on top of St. X. In the first game of the night at the Bluegrass Bowl. How about that? That's the actual Blue Devil there. The Henry Clay Blue Devils. Ryle Raiders first half belong to Ryle. The Raiders. Tanner Morgan finds Bryce Ashley in the end zone. Ryle had an 18-0 lead at halftime. Henry Clay put in the backup quarterback. That's Montavian Bean in the second half, and the Blue Devils would score 28 second half points. Here, Bean connects with DeMarcus Tyler for a 57-yard touchdown. But it was just a little too late. Henry Clay just simply ran out of time on the clock. Blue Devils come up short 34-28. Back here in Lexington, it's LCA hosting Kentucky Country Day. In the first, Logan Nieves goes up top and drops a dime to Ryan Stuckey. Great pass, even better catch. 7-0 LCA. KCD had the answer. Jared Frank keeps it on the design quarterback play, and he goes the distance for the touchdown, 7-7. Go to the second quarter. The handoff goes to Dylan Wheatley, and it's best to just get out of his way. Rumbling, stumbling, bumbling in for the score. LCA flexes its offensive muscle, 56-20.
Now we head to the mountains of eastern Kentucky, to the Pond Creek Nation. Tates Creek and defending 3A champs Belfry in the Pike County Bowl. All Pirates. Tates Creek punting on its first possession. Cameron Catron fields it and returns it for the Pirates touchdown. 7-0 in the first. Later in the first, it's Noah Corbett. Jogs in for another touchdown. It's so tough to stop that option. Right now, 14-0 Belfry. Long way to go. In this one, it's 42-6. 14-0 at that point, 42-6 in the second. Man, we're just getting started. More highlights from around the viewing area straight ahead after this TV timeout. Hello, everybody. One thing that you see a lot of, and I know you've seen it, I've seen it, in the first 2 weeks of the season, you see cramps, penalties, heat delays, weather delays, and we had one of those tonight in Danville at the Pigskin Classic. This game between Bourbon and Rock delayed 47 minutes because of heat. When they got going, it was Brent Lovell on fourth down, just smashing his way into the end zone, 7-0 Rockets. After a safety on a botched punt, Rockcastle quarterback Chase McClure with the read, and he reads well, and he runs even better. A 40-yard dash, 15-0 Rockcastle. Then things get pretty testy and chippy between both of them. It was on for about 45 seconds. It was flags everywhere. At the end of the night, it was Rockets all over the scoreboard, 38-7.
Looks like us before one of these shows, Brian. Over to Garrett County now, where the Golden Lions have one of the most dynamic players in Jacob Foley, who rushed for nearly 300 yards last week against Shelby County. Tonight, Shelby County coming out of the Lions' den and Die House, 10:35 in the first, and Madison Southern gets on the board thanks to Carter Smith's 1-yard run on first down. Later, with 3:26 left in the first, Garrett County's Devin Logan answers right back with a touchdown of his own right there. Madison Southern, well, they go on the road and they get the W, 21-18. Now to West Jessamine, the Colts hosting Woodford County. The Yellow Jackets took an early 21-0 lead, but West Jessamine's Joseph Jasper picks up the loose ball in the second quarter. Then with 8:46 left in the third quarter, West Jessamine would get on the board as Alan Horn takes it in from 5 yards out to score. Thanks for the horn for Mr. Horn. Woodford County, however, goes on to win the game 28-14.
Franklin County fresh off that 55-0 win at Shelby Valley over on Robinson Creek. On the road at Western Hills, second quarter tied at 14. Jalen Youngblood drops back, and just like Australian rules football, you got to pass it to yourself. Bounces it, picks it back up, and now he's on the run again. Reverses field. Touchdown, Big Green Machine. 22-14. The Flyers answer. Jeremiah Green over to Trey Simmons, and watch the dive for 6.
I'm watching.
That's the lead, 22-21 before the break. Western Hills had not defeated Franklin County since 2009. You can end that streak tonight. 36-34. Wolverines are 2-0.
The season opener tonight for Clark County on the road at Anderson County. And how about this? The field being dedicated to the late great Bearcat and former Kentucky Wildcat Bob Ware. Coach Mark Beachy was an alum himself, and he's pumped about it. He wouldn't take this, though. Wouldn't like it. The Cards' Ferris Shakita on the play action finds Isaiah Nolan behind the defense for the score. 7-0 GRC. Ensuing possession for Anderson. Cade Cotton goes downfield. Blake Franklin.
Wow.
Tremendous bobbling grab right there. Same drive. Now in the second quarter, Franklin finishes it off with a touchdown into your own living room to tie it at 7 each. Anderson County gets a 10-point victory tonight, 24-14.
Lincoln County hosting East Jessamine. Jags lead 6-0 in the second quarter. Mike Boland, who do you call? You call Kyle Gann. It's the QB sneak from 6 yards out, 4-6, 12-0. East Jess after another botched punt. The Jags give the ball to sophomore Desmond LeDuc. Breaks a tackle, finds daylight to the outside. A gain of 21, knocked out at the 4. Goal line situation. There's only one man you give it to, Aaron Fortenberry. That made it 19-0. Lincoln County made a game out of this, but East Jess wins it 32-27. The Jags 440 yards of offense tonight.
A lot of good competitive games tonight, and we still have a few games on the other side of this timeout, including a very bearded game. Yeah, get out those Clippers, man. That's next on Game Time. And welcome back. The last time Williamsburg lost their first 2 games of the season in consecutive seasons was all the way back in 2000 and 2001.
I was there for those. The Jackets trying to avoid that distinction tonight when they head over to Somerset, where they're going to get a heavy dose of Jordan Doan, who's got the better beard face. Better beard face! Jerry Herron or Robbie Lucas? Lucas has got a lot of depth on that beard. Jumpers give it to the aforementioned Jordan Doan. 12-yard plunge for the little guy. 7-7. Right back down comes the orange-clad Yellow Jackets, dressed in black tonight. Alec Poor finds Hagen Hahn down the sidelines inside the 5. Somerset takes a good one. 42-27 your final.
I'm a little jealous of that beard, to be honest with you. Wayne County, North Laurel, Dalton Garner going to get the handoff and banging it in. 7-0 Wayne County on top. This one was all Wayne County. Second quarter from the 1-inch line. Why not? Give it to Garner again, the big bruiser.
It's like Noah Rice from back in the day.
Yeah, final score in this one, 55-0. That's a beatdown right there. College football gets underway next weekend. The Wildcats get underway against Southern Miss 1 week from tomorrow night.
Can you believe it?
I cannot believe it.
8 days away. Plenty of new faces will be on the field for the Wildcats this fall. The fans will get their first look at many of them when the season opens 8 days from now. Among them is linebacker Deniro Laster. Great name. Hopefully he's got a better game. He began his college career 3 years ago in Minnesota, where he redshirted, then played a little the next season, but transferred to Kentucky last year and sat out. Laster can play inside or outside linebacker. Mark Stoops needs players to step up at both positions.
We have a nice group of linebackers. I would say we have a group that is very different, and each guy has a different strength that they bring to our team. And we're a bit young, and we are a little bit inexperienced, but we have a lot of talent, and with our talent, we could do some really successful things this year.
And a lot of people are expecting those linebackers in that defensive line, especially to step up. It's the biggest question mark on the team. Let's see how they play.
Yeah, we've got 1 week to go with all of the hype. We'll have the highlights for you next week. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next Friday night.